this special edition of Northwest at 5, our continuing coverage of the forest fire situation that continues to impact our region. Relief came yesterday with some rain moving throughout the region, but is it really enough to help the efforts? A new evacuation order is in effect for areas south of Lac. We'll have all the details. The ashes have settled over Collins First Nation, and the community is in ruins following that massive fire that moved through the area. Communities across Northwestern Ontario are stepping up to help and accommodate evacuees of the wildfires. In the midst of all this, wildfire smoke continues to be a problem, with air quality alerts posted throughout the entire region. Several more chances of showers throughout the outlook, plus a cool-off next week. This special edition of Northwest at 5 begins now.
This is a special edition of Northwest at 5. Wildfire Chaos.
Good evening, everyone. There are a lot of things we have to get through in these 15 minutes as we continue to keep you updated on this very dangerous situation. As of right now, there are 128 active wildland fires in the region, and the forest fire hazard is mixed. Some parts of the region did receive rain early this morning, and Environment Canada says it should offer a bit of a reprieve from poor air quality. However, it's not doing much to quell the ongoing raging wildfires.
Likely did get decent amounts of rainfall, probably in the 10 to 30 millimeter range in some areas, over some of the areas that are being affected the most by wildfire activity. Unfortunately, not really enough to really make a dent, I think, in that activity.
Air quality alerts remain in effect throughout the entire region, although precipitation and changing winds could alter conditions. We'll have the forecast in a little bit. A mandatory evacuation order has been issued for an area south of Lac to Highway 11 as the Fort Francis 14 wildfire continues to burn out of control. The area is contained within Windagustaguan Lake Road, Brew Road, Lily Lake Road, and Chief Peter Lake Road. The Ministry of Natural Resources has put special emergency restrictions in place around the fire to keep people safe and give firefighters room to work. The order limits access to affected roads, waterways, and crown land near the fire. The evacuation order took effect at 7 a.m. this morning and will remain in place until further notice. At more than 55,000 hectares, this fire is burning between Highway 17 and Highway 11, with its closest point about 5 kilometers south of the Trans-Canada Highway. The MNR says all people within the designated evacuation zone must leave immediately unless authorized through a travel permit issued by the ministry. Entry into the evacuation area is also prohibited without authorization. There is also a notice to airmen issued in the area of the Fort Francis 14 wildfire. Pilots are being told to stay away from the area because firefighting aircraft need the airspace to operate safely. The ashes are settling over the May-Goosesagan First Nation, also known as Collins First Nation, which was destroyed earlier this week. The First Nation is now in Thunder Bay, working to provide for each other after escaping with basically nothing but the clothes on their backs. Scott Frank, a community member who helped organize the evacuations, describes the harrowing experience.
We're getting everyone to the beach where we had our boats. At that time, the flames were already entering the community. You could see the fire and how fast it was moving towards us. It was a matter of minutes before that fire completely took out our community.
Frank says everyone is still processing what's happened. Premier Doug Ford and Natural Resources Minister Mike Harris are planning trips to Northwestern Ontario to view the wildland fire situation. Mike Harris is scheduled to arrive in Thunder Bay tonight, with Doug Ford arriving tomorrow. It will be their first visit since the wildland fire situation started to increase last week. Ford announced the planned visit during a media conference today, where he was joined by Harris and Emergency Preparedness Minister Jill Dunlop to address the province's response to the wildland fires. Ford insists every effort is being made to put them out and protect the public and area communities.
We will not put a price on the safety of our communities, and I mean it when I say that we will spare no expense. I'll repeat that, spare no expense, like we have year after year after year.
Ford also applauded the job being done by the Ministry of Natural Resources fire crews and other agencies who are providing help in a support role.
I want to thank the brave men and women who are working around the clock to fight these fires and protect our northern communities. And I want to assure them that we will have their backs no matter what.
The Premier also lashed out at the opposition for politicizing the situation. They claimed that the province was not prepared for the magnitude of this year's fire season and that the ministry was short on personnel, including water bomber pilots. Ford says the opposition is spreading inaccurate and untruthful information.
In a time of a crisis, all levels of government need to come together, no matter if you're opposition or not. But to go out there and try to scare people and put out blatant lies about the amount that's spent is absolutely disgusting on their behalf.
Ford reiterated comments made yesterday that the province added more personnel and announced plans to purchase more water bombers in advance of the season. Well, taking a look at weather, and much of the region is still dealing with wildfire smoke, which poses a risk to anyone heading outdoors. There are air quality alerts spread all across the area, with the smoke expected to persist throughout the weekend. However, there are chances of showers throughout the outlook, which is not expected to provide much relief. But what are the possibilities? I'll have those in a bit, plus your full 7-day forecast, including a brief cool-off expected next week. Still ahead on this special edition of Northwest at 5, communities across the region are stepping up to accommodate people who have fled their homes from the ongoing wildfires. Plus, with all the smoke around the area, we have some health precautions for people looking to get outdoors. And later on, more storm damage leaves some residents of Kenora without power. We'll be right back.
Safe drivers deserve to be rewarded. And with BrokerLink, you can save up to 25% on car insurance. Get a personalized car insurance premium based on how you drive, so your safe driving habits could help you save. Let BrokerLink provide the coverage you need at the right price. With 225 locations across Canada, their insurance experts are closer than you think. Get car insurance designed for you. Conditions apply. Visit a local branch or brokerlink.ca/savings.
Welcome back. The City of Thunder Bay has made Fort William Gardens available to the province as a temporary accommodation site for wildfire evacuees. The city says the site is ready, but has not yet been activated. If needed, it will be managed by a provincially contracted service provider. Emergency management company Lumex says it has been brought in by the province to help support evacuees.
Currently, right now, we are providing the service for community members as and how they need for as long as they need. So I don't have a crystal ball for how long community members will need support, but I can say we do have what they're being referred to as congregate sites that anyone in need can be going to.
Doctor says they offer evacuees food, showers, medical care, and any other services they may require. And it's not just Thunder Bay providing temporary accommodations for evacuees. Kenora, Fort Frances, Lac Seul, Red Lake, and Sioux Lookout are also providing temporary accommodations. Some residents are also staying in Sudbury, Niagara Falls, and Toronto. Emergency Preparedness Minister Jill Dunlop says they have received interest from others who are prepared to host evacuees.
We're looking at some of the northern communities. He said Niagara Falls as well. We have communities coming to us, putting their hand up, offering to help out. Again, doing some investigation. It's very kind, and I thank those communities for doing that, but we want to ensure that adequate care and supports are there for people during that time.
Dunlop says their stay may not be for a few days, suggesting that it could be several months before some are in a position to return home.
We want to ensure that the services are there and those people are supported during that difficult time.
Dunlop was unable to provide the exact number of people who have been evacuated or how many each community is hosting. The Ontario Provincial Police are continuing to support the MNR with wildfire evacuations across our region. Police are reminding the public to stay out of evacuation zones and not to drive on highways or roads that have been closed. Regional Media Coordinator Sergeant Teresa Robinson says she understands the concern as her family is from the evacuated White Sand First Nation Armstrong area.
I would love to return back to the area to take a look at what's going on. We're all worried about, is my community going to make it through? I share that sentiment with them, but the best thing I can do and the best thing that they can do is, stay away, leave room for the emergency workers to do their job.
The OPP say its Provincial Communication Centre and local detachments are receiving a high volume of non-emergency calls from people seeking wildfire information. They are urging the public to get information from public sources, such as the MNR or OPP websites instead.
And now, the weather forecast, powered by Revco Home Improvement Center and Sigurdsson Construction.
Well, there's plenty of smoke across our region, with air quality alerts remaining in effect for the entirety of the area. At this time, the worst of the smoke will be north and east of Kenora. However, some regions may still be affected. Tonight for the region, there's a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms, and the wildfire smoke lingering around. Lows will range from 15 to 17. Tomorrow, areas from Atikokan to Thunder Bay will see widespread smoke, while Fort Francis, Kenora, and Dryden will enjoy mainly sunny skies with some smoke here and there. Highs will range from 26 to 28. And tomorrow night, there will be partly cloudy skies in western regions, while eastern regions will continue to see widespread smoke. Lows will be 13 in Atikokan, 14 in Thunder Bay, 16 in Dryden and Fort Francis, and 18 in Kenora. Taking a look at the 7-day outlook, we have multiple chances for showers throughout the outlook, although there will be slight chances. I should note that our temperatures will briefly cool off next week before quickly rebounding back to average for this period. But the main problem here will be the smoke, which will linger throughout the next few days. And that's your forecast. The smell of smoke is being felt in some communities that previously were not impacted. The Northwestern Health Unit says residents should prepare for the poor air quality conditions around our region to continue. Stephanie Charles, a health promoter at the health unit, says when hot weather and wildfire smoke happen together, it can be challenging to know if you should open your windows for cooling or close your windows due to the smoke. Charles says protecting yourself from the heat should be a priority, but also take steps to reduce your exposure to the smoke. The smoke is made up of a mixture of gases and fine particles that can be harmful to your health. The health unit states that smoke can affect breathing and worsen existing health conditions. Some people are more susceptible to the smoke, including those aged 65 and older, pregnant people, infants and young children, people with an existing illness or chronic health condition, and people who work outdoors. The health unit recommends reducing exposure by limiting strenuous outdoor activities when air quality is poor, keeping windows and doors closed during smoky conditions, and using a portable air cleaner with a HEPA filter if available. I'm sorry about that, guys. If outdoor activity is necessary during smoky conditions, the health unit recommends wearing an N95 or equivalent respirator to reduce exposure to fine particles in wildfire smoke. Up next on this special edition of Northwest at 5, the smoke in Thunder Bay is leading to local event cancellations. We'll tell you which ones are not taking place. And some residents of Kenora are without power following an overnight storm. We'll be right back. Welcome back. The wildfire smoke and poor air qualities are having a big impact on local events in Thunder Bay. Both the Festival of India and Festival of Colors have been postponed to next month because of the wildfires in the region. The smoky conditions in the city have caused festival organizers to move the celebration to the weekend of August 15th and 16th. Fort William Historical Park has also canceled Celtic Day, which was supposed to be held this coming Sunday due to the wildfire smoke. And finally tonight, efforts continue to restore power after storms passed through the Kenora area overnight. Environment Canada says a line of severe thunderstorms was tracking through the area at the time, bringing heavy rain, lightning, and strong winds. It brought down a number of trees and knocked out power in several areas. Synergy North is still working to restore power to Coney Island, but says it could be tomorrow before service is fully restored. Synergy says several locations have been damaged, but crews are still assessing the full extent of the work required. It is bringing in additional crews from Thunder Bay to assist with the restoration. Hydro One is also working to reconnect customers outside of Kenora who also lost power. It is hoped to have that work complete by the end of the day. And that's all for now. We have continuing coverage on the wildfire situation over on our website. For now, though, thanks for watching. Good night.
This has been a presentation of Outfit 7 News Holdings.